Can a Megillah written in English be read by someone fluent in Hebrew for people who do not understand Hebrew? Now, this is, again, a fascinating question built on the idea that we can have a Megillah in English, which I discussed in our previous tshuva, in our previous video. And this was asked by a rabbi in New York, one of our musmachim, who, following the example that my wife and I set, as I mentioned in the previous video, when we had a Megillah commissioned to be written in English for our son, he commissioned a Megillah to be written for the assisted living facility, to be read for all the residents who don't understand Hebrew. And the question was, who is going to read this Megillah in a public setting? Because those residents, none of them would feel comfortable standing up and doing a public reading. And the logical thing is that he should go ahead and do the reading. That's what would be natural. But he's fluent in Hebrew. And there's a debate in the Rishonim whether somebody who understands Hebrew can fulfill the mitzvah through a Megillah that is written in the vernacular that he also understands. Rambam and Rashi say you can. Ramban, however, says that one cannot, and Rashba sides with Ramban. The Ran disagrees, sides with Rambam and Rashi, pretty much, strongly goes against Ramban, although says maybe we should be worried about his position. So it's a debate of the Rishonim. Where does that leave us? Well, if you remember from last video, I mentioned that there was a practice for about 100 years to exactly do this, that somebody who understood Hebrew would read the Megillah in the vernacular to the women and children who did not understand Hebrew. So we have a pretty well-established practice. The Rivash, however, did not want to follow this in his town, and he wrote to the Ran and said, shouldn't we be concerned for the position of the Ramban? And the Ran gave a pretty equivocal answer. The Ran said, listen, in your place, you should do what doesn't get you into debate. You should do the thing that isn't complicated, that works for everyone. And that type of an approach to have somebody, read who knows Hebrew and that raises halachic questions, you shouldn't do that except when it's necessary. Which indicates that in situations where it really serves an important purpose, it would be acceptable to follow that approach. And we should remember that there was an established practice and that it is considered to be even a higher fulfillment for those who don't understand Hebrew to have it read in the vernacular. There's also some question that maybe even somebody who can't fulfill the mitzvah for himself can help others discharge that mitzvah, although this is not clear here because here, for him, it doesn't count as a mitzvah act at all. It's not like it was a mitzvah act and he fulfilled his obligation. But we can certainly rely on those Rishonim that say that it works even if you're fluent, especially basing ourselves on the established practice and the importance of people feeling really engaged and connected and a higher fulfillment of Pirsumei Nisa.